Hi, my name is Rick Bird. I'm the basketball coach at Belmont University, and we've put together a tape for our players to help remember a year that I think that will go down in history as Belmont University's best basketball season ever. We were 37-2, ranked number 1 for the first time in the school, made to the semifinals of the NAIA National Tournament in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and it's a season that we all had a lot of fun in, had a lot of tough games, but one that I think that no matter what we do from this point on will be one of the most exciting times of our life.
I think it's safe to say we had a lot of expectations, but it was more of a kind of a cumulative effect of how the previous seasons had gone. A lot of good teams, but making it back to the NAIA tournament and then making it to the Sweet 16 and then making it to the Final 8, and so there was a recent history of success that all of us were excited about and wanted to continue to build on.
Right, semifinals of the TCAC basketball tournament tonight. Freed-Hardeman at number 1 Belmont.
It was interesting how we became number 1. We were number 2 and went down to play Freed-Hardeman on the road and didn't play one of our best games. And Kerry West just sort of single-handedly took the game over. I think he ended up with 40 points or something near there. And we won in overtime. And the same night, whoever was number 1, they lost. And had we not, we didn't know at the time, but had we not come back and won that game, we probably never would have been number 1 that year. So from that point on, I think it was really motivating and a plus for us that we were number 1 for the first time, and we wanted to keep it.
Inside tonight it was Belmont, 2 rivals. Belmont 33-1 against David Lipscomb as they battle each other for the TSAC championship.
Well, I remember that year specifically well because it was 2 tremendous games with Lipscomb. Both of them were games where Belmont scored over 100 points. I think one of the games was like 115 to 104 or something. Shootouts. You can't, at McQuitty, the place is jammed up. And it was kind of a changing of the guard in some ways. Lipscomb always had those winning in those teams. You beat them 3 times that year. And it was just part of the magic of what you had that year. You had great players. I can remember Al Allen, Kerry West was on that team, Casey Alexander was on that team. So the personnel was some great players, and Rick coming into his own and winning the TSAC tournament. It was all part of a magical sense for me. But I remember the fact that it was just fun to watch because of the high-scoring games and the way the games flowed.
It's always satisfying to beat Lipscomb. Even these days, the games that they play, it's still a huge rivalry. So anytime we could beat Lipscomb was a great time. And so to have that, to win the conference championship, to stay number 1, to make sure we were going to the national tournament, and so to beat them on our floor for the 3rd consecutive time was just a great thing to do. I think that was the night, if I remember correctly, that they totally changed the way that they played and backed off of Casey, and he hit 8 or 9 threes, whatever it was at the time, and just watching our team be able to respond to things that people did differently and still win games was very satisfying.
I think for the first time we feel like that we deserve to play with anybody in the country. We may lose the first game, but I think we're going to go out there with the attitude that we can beat anybody. We're trying to have fun with it. If you can't have fun with it, and you let the pressure get to you, then, it's not going to be worth it. We've done a great job with that, I think.
Sports fans are familiar with the name Rick Bird. His Belmont Rebels are ranked number 1 in NAIA.
Well, for the first time in school history, Belmont College was at the top of the national rankings.
Belmont University today being named number 1 in the nation in this week's NAIA college basketball ranking.
Belmont enters the NAIA tournament as a top seed and the number 1 ranked team in the nation. The school plays its opening round game tomorrow.
It's exciting. It was for us. I think we won the first 3 games that year by 20 plus, and then we ran into Birmingham Southern in the semifinals, and they played great. We didn't knock down shots, and it was a tough loss.
We had a lot of respect for how difficult it was, to run through that tournament. Even being the number 1 seed and having an undefeated NAIA record, we still knew it was going to be a challenge. And so I wouldn't say that a championship was the only way to cap the season, but at the same time, we had full expectations to win. We thought we were the best team. We felt like if we played the way that we're capable of playing, that we would end up taking home the championship. And we played a really good team that beat us in the semifinals, and it didn't go our way. And all of us look back now and say, "Gosh, what a great season!"
It was a great season to watch, to see a team accomplish that. That doesn't happen very often. And even the biggest teams in Division I, all that, can very rarely lay claim to that kind of a season.
Pretty amazing to go through and win almost every game you're kind of capable of winning or supposed to win. This team, unquestionably special. The first team to be a number one team in the country, a number one seed in the national tournament, the first team to make the national semifinals. The numbers are staggering statistically for that year, and the number of great players is pretty staggering.
It's hard to describe, but it's a brotherhood that you have. You've shared laughs, you've shared tough times, good times, some of those moments in the locker room, practices, on van rides you never forget, and it literally is like transplanting yourself back in time. I see some of these guys, and you can immediately go back to those years, and I know we're all looking older and certainly a little more stressed than we were then, but it's a bond that you share that really doesn't go away, and I think we all believe we could probably still get out on the court and give the teams now a run for their money, but they'd make quick work of us. But we still have something that, even as you look around, that other people don't have that opportunity to say they've experienced.
Congratulations. Congratulations to the 94-95 Belmont basketball team. What a year. What a set of memories. To Al and Jeff and Carrie and DeQuinn and Casey, a special thanks for all you did for Belmont that year. A flood of memories, really. In particular, 2 Lipscomb games at Stripling Gym. The first one, what a start. DeQuinn, the first 17 points. And then the second game. A very interesting strategy employed by the Lipscomb coach, allowing Casey just to fire away, 8 threes, 30 points, and again, another great victory for our Bruins. You spent the season number 1, and I want you to know that for Carol and me, you're still number 1. We've never had a team to cheer for quite like you. Congratulations, and all the best.